First guest this afternoon, we have Alianza ng para sa Bagong Pilipinas Campaign Manager na Votas Congressman Toby Tiangco. Good afternoon, Congressman Tiangco.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Congressman.
Yes,
Congratulations, ha?
Long time no see.
Nakabawi na ba kayo tulog?
Hindi pa masyado. Nagbabawi pa lang. Dami pang trabahong yun.
Well, it's double-sided, no? It's both congratulations for winning your re-election.
Yeah, personal congratulations.
And also commiserations sa outcome ng Alianza slate. So let's start with that. Ano po yung assessment nyo? What happened? What went wrong there? And what you think you could have done differently?
Okay, number one, syempre, this is the reason why I've been avoiding interviews during the campaign. Now, if you notice, I never granted interviews during the campaign because there are questions that I wouldn't have been able to answer. May mga tanong na talagang hindi ko kayang sagutin noong kampanya dahil makakasama doon sa aming kampanya. Isa sa mga yon is yung talagang nagsimula yung problema namin nung nag-file ng impeachment case ang House of Representatives against kay VP Sara. Because yung October surveys namin, 9 na alyansa ang pasok sa buong Mindanao. Pagdating nung survey namin after the impeachment, before the incident of bringing the former president to Hague, 4 na lang. So just because of the impeachment, 4 na lang yung natirang alyansa candidates doon sa Mindanao. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, early on, binawasan ko yung rallies doon sa Mindanao. Kasi wala rin mangyayari sa amin doon eh. Pupunta kami doon, hindi rin naman namin makukumbinsi yung mga tao. Why would we spend time there, no? And I'm saying this because yung impeachment was self-inflicted. Ibig sabihin, yun total control kami. Pero tinuloy namin, for what? For nothing. Diba? Nag-file ng impeachment complaint February 5. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa nasisimulan. Pinigilan ko sila noon. Ayaw nilang makinig. Sinabi ko, maapektuhan yung mga senador natin. Ayaw nilang makinig. So, yan ang nangyari.
Sir, clarify ko lang, when you say pinigilan mo sila, sino pa yung tinutukoy natin?
Sinabi ko doon sa House na anong stand ko doon sa impeachment. Una, sinabi ko, bakit nyo ginagawa yan? Last day of session. Okay? Last day of session. June 2 pa magpaadidinggin ng Senado yan, magiging issue yan sa eleksyon. So, kaya hindi ako pumirma. Tinuloy nila, yan ang naging epekto. Tapos nasundan pa nung sa Hague, no? So, anong nangyari doon sa isip ng tao? Ang nangyari sa isip ng tao, masyado nating pinupunterya, di ba? Masyado nilang pinupunterya. Ibig sabihin, una, yung anak, in-impeach mo. Tapos, yung tatay na padala sa Hague. Pero yung pagpadala sa Hague, there are circumstances external to us beyond our control. Diba? So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na yan ang reason. Ang talagang pinagsimulan yan is yung impeachment na pinipigilan ko silang gawin.
Pero sa sinubukan po niyong pigilan yung liderato ng Kongreso, ano po ang sagot sa inyo kung bakit nila itutuloy o tinuloy ng panahon yun?
Okay. Alam na nila yung stand ko tungkol dyan. Kaya nung huling meeting, hindi na nila ako sinama dyan sa usapan ng impeachment. So anong ginawa ko? Hindi ako pumirma. Pero alam nila yung stand ko dyan. Ever since before, I've been very clear about my stand on the impeachment. No?
Congressman, merong story ngayon from the House eh. Sabi nila, I think it's in reaction to what you said, no? Sabi nila, 86% daw of the congressmen who signed the impeachment complaint, nanalo naman. Ano pong masasabi niyo ron?
Okay, iba ang national, iba ang local politics, iba ang national politics, no? Ang local politics is based on the performance ng iyong representante, no? Ang national politics is based on perception. Okay? So, ibang-iba yon. Okay? At yung sinasabi, okay, bakit ba nila kailangan gawin? Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit nila kailangan gawin. Ngayon ko lang natuklasan na yung aking duda nung unang-una pa lang kung bakit nila pinipilit yung impeachment na yan ay tama. And it was because of the conditional release.
Sir, could you continue that? Conditional release ng...
Di ba, okay. Di ba saan ba nagsimula yung problema ng administrasyon? Nagsimula yung problema ng administrasyon nung hindi nila sinunod yung budget ng Pangulo. Ang nangyari, hindi nila sinunod, ang dami-dami lang ginalaw. Later on, nagpasa sila ng budget na ayaw ng Pangulo. Okay? Ngayon, because of lack of time, hindi na veto lahat ng mga hindi dapat na items na handon. Di ba? So, ang ginawa ng executive is, di ba nagkaroon ng sinabi, conditional release. We will review
that one.
All the line items. So, ano nangyari? May na-hold. Okay? So, noong pinipilit nila ilabas yung mga projects na for conditional release, iniisip-isip ko na noon na ito yung reason para doon sa impeachment para mapilitan yung executive branch na ilabas yung budget. So, hindi ko mapatunayan nun. Pero for the record, nag-text ako na yan ang duda ko kung bakit nila ginagawa. Okay.
Sir, in which case, sir, if I may, in which case, are you saying therefore na Malacanang was not convinced of the need to pursue the impeachment at that time?
Until now, I am 100% sure na hindi kumbinsido ang presidente. Bakit? On the day of the signing of the impeachment, I was with the president for a meeting regarding the alyansa. Magmula nung simula na nagpipirma hanggang matapos, hindi namin pinag-usapan. Hindi niya sinabi, bakit ka hindi pumirma? Pagkatapos, lumabas yung resulta, hindi man niya lang sinabi sa akin, Toby, naka 215 tayo. We never talked about it.
Yeah.
Isang beses na pag-usapan namin, I think 2-3 weeks after, siya yung nagtanong, ano ba yung nangyari? Bakit nila pinilit yung impeachment? Wala bang kalaban yung mga yan? Sabi ko, sir, hindi nga ako sinama, so hindi ko masasagot bakit nila tinuloy. Okay? Next, okay, fast forward. So, naka-hold pa rin yung mga conditional release. And up to now, I think there's mga 90 billion pa na naka-hold kasi talagang hinihigpitan yon. So, pinapressure nila ako na i-release yung mga infrastructure projects for conditional release. Sabi ko, hindi pa pwedeng i-release yan. Kasi nga, tinitignan pa kung yan ay mga legit projects.
Yeah. But sir...
Ang sabi nila sa akin, nung dalawang pumausap sa akin na pinapunta ni Speaker, pero naipangako namin yan, paano yung mga pumirma ng impeachment. So, nag-report ako kay Presidente, sir, kung ako, checkin muna natin kung legit yan. Pero pinipressure ako, ang sinasabi nila, yan daw, ipinangako nila. Ang sagot sa akin ni Presidente, wala tayong pinangakong ganyan. So, sabi ko sa kanya, sir, ito na yung sinasabi ko. Ginawa na impeachment so that they can pressure the executive na pinapirma namin itong mga to para ma-release yung mga conditional release. So, ibig sabihin, binenta nila yung political capital ng Pangulo.
And yet, the first person to sign the impeachment complaint was Congressman Sandro Marcos, which is why it was widely seen, sir, na meron tong blessing ng Malacanang. How do we reconcile these two things?
Okay, I had a private conversation with Congressman Marcos, but let's leave him out of this kasi hindi naman siya yung talagang pasimuno nito eh. Ang tingin ko naipit rin siya dito eh.
Sir, could you at least qualify that? What do you mean by
Could you please, pakiulit lang.
Hindi, okay. I had a private conversation with him.
Yes, sir.
Regarding this. Let's leave him out of this kasi hindi naman siya yung nagpasimuno ng impeachment. Sa tingin ko, na
ang sabi sa
dito.
You're saying
so you're refuting kasi yung sabi ng iba, part of the reason daw na hindi lumabas nga, hindi nagkaroon ng sweep yung alyansa, hindi daw na-roll out yung administration machinery.
No.
One of the reasons, Sean.
Okay, paano ma-roll out yung administration machinery when the candidates themselves were fighting for survival? Di ba? There is a negative sentiment. Ikaw tumatakbo ka. Will you take the risk? No candidate will take the risk. He will think first of his own survival. Di ba? How can you, lalo na kung emosyon ang nananaig sa tao. Kasi emosyon, hindi mo pwedeng paliwanagan yung emosyon. So kung ikaw kumakandidato, kahit sabihin mo na mahina yung kalaban niya, will you take the risk?
Yung impact, isa pa sir na tinuturo nila, yung impact nung controversy over the national budget na kasi ang pinaka-direct hit talaga doon yung House eh. You think may tama yon yung observation na yon na may impact nga siya doon sa nangyari sa alyansa?
May impact yung okay. Yung doon sa national budget, ang sinasabi ko, ang problema ko doon sa national budget is yun na naman, wala namang kasalanan ng presidente doon later on, nung napunta sa kanya, pati siya nagkaroon ng hit yung political capital niya, di ba? At syempre, pag nagkaroon yung hit ng political capital ng presidente, pati yung endorsing power ng presidente, magkakaroon ng hit, di ba? That's the natural consequence. Pero, tignan natin yung Mindanao kasi. Yung Mindanao, talagang nagkaroon sila ng unifying factor doon, magmula nung final yung
Pero sir, it sounds almost as if the president is so passive. Kasi typically, the president would have a supermajority in Congress, not the other way around, na a supermajority has a president in Malacanang. Di ba? Usually ganun yung dynamics yun eh. So it almost sounds as if the president is not on top of things and that he's just being pulled and pushed around.
The president is on top of things, but alam mo naman yung presidente natin, napakabait, pasensyoso. Some people take advantage of his goodness and kindness. You know, he's a very gentle creature, di ba?
So when you say that they used up his political capital,
it's his gentleness, his kindness.
So sir, when you say they used up the president's political capital, the natural next question there is, why didn't he do something about it? Right? Why didn't the people around him do something about it? If they can already see this is going on.
It is a supermajority to begin with anyway.
Yan ang ginawa niya, di ba? Hanggang ngayon, hindi naman pa rin-release yung insertion, yung conditional, yung congressional insertion eh. Okay, out of the 209 billion na inserted by the House, ang nare-release lang is over 100 million. So may 90 billion pa doon na naka-hold. So he exercised his executive power. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin. Hindi lang namin ito sinasabi, di ba? People think na pinalusot lang niya yung budget. He did not. So ngayon ko lang ito sinasabi kasi tapos na yung eleksyon, hindi ko naman po pwede ito sabihin na nandun pa yung eleksyon. No? But I have to do this because I have to protect the president. No, he's being blamed for things na hindi naman niya kasalanan. He's paying for things na hindi naman niya ginawa.
But on the downside, sir, you understand that this will also make him look like he does not have control over the whole system, the whole machinery.
No, that's why I'm speaking out now because no one is speaking out. You know, we were put in a situation, nalagay kami sa sitwasyon na eleksyon eh, di ba? Hindi naman po pwedeng palabasin. O, paano ko naman, kayo na lang magsabi sa akin, nagpa-interview ako sa inyo during election period. Pwede ko ba sabihin itong mga bagay na to? Masabihin na hindi release yung mga pondo para lang patunayan na talagang ano. Siyempre, there are things that we have to finish first. Pagtapos mga bagay na yan, now I have to protect him. I have to say that hindi niya talaga pinayagan. So now it's very clear he was unhappy about the budget and he is doing something about it. Hindi totoo yung sinasabing pinalusot niya. Hindi niya pinalusot.
Sir, during that time, were you in touch with Speaker Martin Romualdez nung panong ito'y nagkakagulo at nag-uunahan kung sinong pepresyo kanino? I mean, well, let me boil it down to this. Is the Speaker the one who was in charge of all of this?
And who is the leader of the House, di ba? Yung mga, tsaka yung nakapaligid sa kanya kasi sila yung kumakausap sa akin, sinasabi sa akin, kailangan to release, kailangan ganito, ganyan. Eh, hindi naman ako pumapayag.
Congressman, nabanggit nyo na rin lang yung leadership eh. Hindi lang si President Marcos ang tinamaan dito. Of course, you are in the line of fire dahil kayo yung naging campaign manager ng Alyansa. And in fact, you were being rumored to be the next speaker, actually. Ano po yung ano na po nangyari? Magkakaroon po ba tayo ng leadership change?
I think that's where all the problems started, no? Early November, noong nagkakagulo-gulo sa budget, ang pinagdududahan nila ako, no? There was one time, I was kausapin ni Speaker Romualdez. Sinabi ko sa kanya at that time, Speaker, wala akong kinausap na congressman, walang kumausap na congressman sa akin, no? And he had so many theories, no? Meron pa siyang kung ano-anong theory na yung iba doon, wala akong telephone number ng mga taong yon, no? And then, nung nangyari ito ngayon, ako na naman yung pinagdududahan nila, di ba? Na kaya kung titignan mo naman, alam ko naman sino yung mga nagpo-post sa social media, mga naman nila yon, di ba? Kilala ko yung iba pa nga, doon ko pa nga nakilala sa bahay niya eh. So paano ko naman hindi malalaman na hindi ako yung pinupunteriya nila dito, di ba? So, okay. Ako naman, I'm very transparent. Kung sinasabi ko noon na at that time, in November, walang kumakausap sa akin. Ngayon, sasabihin ko naman, may mga kumakausap sa akin. Wala akong kinakausap, may mga kumakausap sa akin na sinasabi na kung dapat magkaroon ng change of leadership para mabalik yung imahe ng House. Naman sinasabi ko na ako, kung ano yung gusto ng mayorya, yun naman ang susundin ko, di ba? I mean, I don't fight, I have to tell everyone, I don't fight my battles patalikod. I always fight frontally. You've known me.
In the aftermath of all this, Congressman, now that the elections are over, Alyansa did not...
I'm saying, I would do everything to protect the president because the accusations against him are so unfair, di ba? Ibig sabihin, the budget, political capital niya yung naapektuhan doon. For something, in the first place, ayaw niya.
Yeah.
So, ilang beses na-postpone yung signing ng budget. Di ba? Hanggang naubusan lang ng oras, hindi nahanap lahat ng items, may konting na veto, pero hinabot pa rin sa huli. Ngayon, naka-hold. For the record, naka-hold.
Oo.
Congressman, linawin ko lang ha. Congressman, linawin ko lang. You said the people, nung November, walang kumakausap sa inyo. Kahit may mga chismis na meron nga. Pero ngayon, may mga lumalapit na sa inyo about the speakership. You are being asked kasi sa Senate, meron na rin ganun na sinasabi niyo yun ha?
I'm being asked.
To be the speaker by some congressmen.
They're saying that if I will run ng meeting, show of support, yung iba tumatawag sa akin, pumunta kami doon. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, pumunta kayo doon. Kasi hindi naman ako nagdedeklara, mapag-iinitan kayo. Okay?
Congressman, may nagpatawag ng meeting kanina?
May meeting kay Speaker doon sa Shangri-La. Show of support.
Kanina?
Yeah,
For the speaker.
For the speaker.
For the speaker.
Tumatawag, what will we do? Will we go? We want to be on your side. Sabi ko, nako, hindi pa ako nagdedeklara. Pumunta kayo doon, baka kayo naman mapag-initan. No? Ayoko naman kayong diba? Tsaka sabi ko, I'm not actively seeking for it. But I just want to help the president. Diba?
Okay.
So, yun naman sinasabi ko sa kanila. No? At ako mismo nagsasabi, kung papapirmahin kayo, pumirma kayo kasi mapag-iinitan naman kayo pag hindi naman kayo pumirma.
Pero Congressman, it's significant that they are asking you. Di ba? Na kung pupunta ba sila doon, pipirma ba sila doon, it's significant that they are asking you.
Hindi naman sila nagsasabing pipirma ba sila. Sinasabi nila anong gagawin. Ako na nagsasabi.
Yun na nga.
Yung iba,
diba?
yung iba nga sinasabi niya na ayaw namin pumirma. Sabi ko, wag niyong gagawin niya. Ayoko madamay kayo doon sa akin, di ba? Kasi hindi naman style ko ng politics yung ganyan. Kung ako yung pag-iinitan, ako yung pag-iinitan, di ba? Bakit naman kayo madadamay?
Right. Sir, Sir, okay. So in the aftermath of all of this, Congressman, how would you describe the relationship between President Marcos and the House Speaker? Ano yung dynamic nila ngayon? And, it sounds like the Speaker is going ahead and doing his own thing. What do you think his end goal is?
No, I don't want to comment on their relationship because whatever their personal or professional relationship is, hindi naman ako yung nakabantay. Ano bang relasyon nitong dalawa, di ba? So, naman ako ganun. So I wouldn't want to comment on that.
So your advice to the congressman about that meeting with the speaker is prudent naman eh. I mean, sige, para walang sisiyan at walang sumabit. Pero sir, and you also said you're not actively seeking the speakership.
Yeah.
But are you interested to begin with? And if given the fact that some people are asking you to go ahead and be the speaker or throw your hat in the ring, will you throw your hat in the ring?
Okay, isa lang sagot ko dyan. I will do whatever is best for the president. If it's best for the president that Martin Romualdez remains speaker, I will support what he thinks is best for him. But
So, Congressman, you are open to it.
No,
Yan, accurate ba yan?
if he thinks I can help him more, I will accept it. Di ba? As long as my colleagues agree, di ba? Because hindi naman di ba? I mean, ang numero uno dito is my colleagues, di ba? Okay, number one, kung gusto ng karamihan ng colleagues ko at yan ay makakabuti sa presidente, siyempre tatanggapin ko. Pero ang number one dito, ano ba yung desisyon ng mayorya ng aking kasama sa Kongreso? Kasi tsaka pa lang tayo makakapunta sa presidente pag meron tayong mayorya ng kasama. Di ba? Pag meron tayong mayorya ng kasama, sabi natin sa presidente, ito po yung gusto ng karamihan ng ating kasama. Ito po, kung okay sa inyo, itutuloy natin, di ba? Ganun lang naman.
Sir, pahabol na lang po kasi you said kanina na pagkatapos ng impeachment, in your surveys, 4 na lang yung pumapasok na senatorial best ng alyansa. So mukhang mas accurate yung survey ninyo kasi yung survey na nakuha namin.
Oo nga.
Hindi, sinasabi ko sa Mindanao, sa Mindanao to, sa Mindanao. I'm talking about Mindanao.
Sa Mindanao. Okay.
4 na lang yung pumapasok nationwide. Kung sinasabi ko, before the impeachment, siyam yung alyansa candidates na napasok sa Mindanao.
Yes, sir.
After impeachment, wala pa yung pagpadala sa Hague, 4 na lang ang natitira na alyansa candidates na pasok sa Mindanao, which is 24% of the voting population.
Yes, sir.
So nagkaroon na ng unifying factor. Yan ang sinasabi ko.
Mukha naman they voted straight. Sorry, we have to let you go because I understand you have another interview, no, Congressman? Pero
Yes.
sana we can have you back again.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot more to talk
interesting
about.
discussion.
Oo, there's a lot more to talk about. And
Pwede
sana-
isa na lang.
Oh, sige, 30 seconds.
Congressman, have you talked to President Marcos about this na feeling niya hindi siya naproteksyonan? Have you talked to him about this, itong mga nangyayari ngayon?
Hindi siya na-protection ng saan?
Sa ganyan nga, yung controversy over, he said he took a political hit eh.
Yeah, his capital.
Meron ba, anong sentimiento ni Presidente dyan sa nangyari?
Hindi. Sa kanya naman, it's more than the political hit. For him, hindi talaga maayos yung budget. Okay? Kaya, ang mahalaga, yung sinasabing wala siyang ginawa dahil pinabayaan niya yung budget at hindi niya binito. Ngayon, merong naka for conditional release. Kalahati pa lang nung na-insert yung na-release. No? Number 2, yung sinasabing impeachment, hindi niya talaga gusto yan. At number 3, napaliwanag ko naman sa kanya kung ano yung dahilan doon sa impeachment.
Yes.
No?
And again,
Isa na lang, would he be open to a leadership change in the House? Sa tingin ninyo?
Actually, yun na yung last question
Si President Marcos.
Oo. And the last question to add to that, sir, is between the two of you, kayong dalawa, nakapag-usap na po ba kayo about the possibility of you being the next speaker?
Who? Me and
The
Speaker
president.
Romualdez?
No,
No,
the
no,
president.
No.
The president.
Marcos.
Alam mo, I've been loyal to all my bosses. I don't preempt my bosses. I don't put them on the spot. Diba? I just want to remind everyone of my political history. I was with ERAP. ERAP was removed from office. I never joined GMA until she left office. Okay? I was for ERAP in 2010. ERAP did not win. I did not join Pinoy when he was in office. I was Pinay in 2016. Binay did not win. I did not transfer to Duterte when Duterte won. So I remain loyal to my bosses. I don't compromise them. I don't put them in a difficult situation. I don't preempt them. I do what is good for them, and I will stay loyal to them always.
Okay. On that note, maraming salamat for your time and your honesty
Thank you,
as a
sir.
campaign manager. And
I've always been honest. That's why I couldn't appear in your show during the elections kasi hindi naman
Hindi.
ako pwede magmaling, di ba?
Hindi,
So
sir.
the best-
Na-interview na kita during the campaign. Well, slightly before sa The Big Story.
slightly before you interviewed me,
Oo.
but that was about the pre-campaign yata.
Hindi,
But when
hindi.
things
I asked
were
you-
going rough,
No, I
yeah,
asked you about why you didn't sign the impeachment complaint. Sabi mo at that time, you didn't have time kasi minadali nila. So,
That was
now-
also one reason, di ba?
Yeah.
How can you read, gaano kakapal na dokumento?
Oo.
Hindi ko naman nabasa di ba? Pero may duda na ako. You asked me at the time why I did not sign.
Yes.
You did not ask me at the time why I thought they pushed through with it. So now I'm telling you why I think they pushed through with it.
Okay, and yun nga, we appreciate your candidness. Thank you so much for your time. The Botas
Yeah, that's why
Congressman.
if I cannot answer your questions, I would rather not appear than lie.
Navotas
Salamat po,
Congressman
Congressman.
Toby Chanco.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Sige,
Yeah.
salamat.
Thank you.